this first episode is peak. Okay, it's 10 out of 10. If the show continues like this, which I don't think it's going to drop in quality at all. I just firmly believe that's impossible. We're looking at obviously one of the best comic book television shows of all time. Will it be better than Daredevil as the best comic book show of all time? We're gonna see, but this is true competition. Loki's phenomenal. I'd argue that you can throw Loki's name in the ring, but Penguin, man, I absolutely ascended. It is everything I wanted and more. I knew it would deliver, and it delivered. We're gonna go in depth with it, but JG, what are your initial thoughts on this first episode?
Well, if there was a threesome between movies, I would say Gotham meets Boardwalk Empire meets Sopranos. It was, I mean, the camera shots. Of course, we saw some CGI. You can tell. I mean, it's a show, so you can tell some CGI in there as well. But the shots, I mean, the opening shot. Right, I mean, he just starts up right off where Batman left. You see Oz looking out like, yeah, it's my time now, right? But he still has some, steps he has to take to get to that spot. I mean, everybody that played I don't know how old that kid is, or I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but I was like, please don't be annoying. Please don't be annoying. He served his role well. He wasn't annoying. He was there when he needed to be. The inflection of his voice, like I mentioned, the eyes, Sophie, her eyes, right? It was like you see the craziness, but she was still sharp at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. And before we get in depth in it, man, I just gotta say, man, it's woo, everything I expected and more.
Absolutely.
Keep cooking, DC. Keep cooking.
Wow. I mean, I knew it was gonna be peak. I knew it was gonna be phenomenal television, and yet here we are, me floored at just how incredible this first episode was. So let's get in depth with it.
Yeah,
because there's so much to take away, and it's all character driven. It's all, I mean, unbelievable. This is how you do a spin-off first and foremost. This is world building at its finest, and it's just going to get better and better. People were complaining about Robert Pattinson's Batman not being involved, and sure, I would love a cameo. Apparently he's not going to be in the show at all, but as I said, character and story is first. What this story is, it's Sopranos, it's Goodfellas, it's all the classic mob things rolled into one. It's about Oswald's rise to power, and I love that because it's you could have done the Batman Part 2 and just off the bat had him be the kingpin of Gotham and him running the show, but it's so much more fascinating and cool and interesting that we see his journey to get there. It's not easy to just become the kingpin and rule Gotham. No, there's going to be pushback, there's going to be competition, there's going to be conflict, and we're seeing that in this show. It's not an easy journey to get there, but Oswald he believes he's destined to be there. It's what he's always wanted, which is it's phenomenal writing. I mean, you care for this character. He is incredibly sympathetic. And he's a bad guy doing bad things, but you're looking at the character, you're like, you know what, I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you took this kid off the streets and gave him an opportunity to be more. I understand why you're doing all this, and it's creating an incredibly compelling arc. General things out of the way, it's important to note that Michael Giacchino did not compose this show. I want to show some love to Mick Giacchino, who is Michael Giacchino's son.
Oh,
and he composed this show, and I'm like, yo, this dude is the second coming of Michael Giacchino. We might have another cook, on our hands. I love that he got his shot here, and he's cooking, man. I'm incredibly happy with that. Let's see. what else do I want to talk about? Generally, bro, that was fantastic as expected. Yeah, man. That is television right there. Television at its finest. I mean, come on, let's give a shout out to the set design. Incredible. Gotham is incredible. As Matt Reeves said, Gotham is a character in it of itself. You know, it has to be unique. It has to stand out. Yes, it looks like, you know, New York and Philadelphia and stuff like this. You know, when Oswald went to his mother's house, I was like, yeah, that's a house straight out of New York. I love.
Yeah, I was thinking
it was,
the same thing.
yeah, like the railing and everything. I'm like, yeah, man, that is spot on. But it also has its unique identity, a little bit more of a comic booky aspect to it. It rides the line very nicely, and I love to see it. Everything's tangible, dude. No green screen, no this, nothing. And if it is, it's hidden incredibly well. But people are sitting in rooms, they're talking. It's tangible, it's real. I love it. So music, set design, performances, incredible, man. I mean, Colin Farrell, like you said, blends incredibly nicely into this role. I don't see Colin Farrell. I see Oz Cobb, bro.
Yeah.
I see the Penguin. It was DC Comics fanboy who said he feels like the Arkham Penguin, and I couldn't agree more. I'm like, yeah, that's why I love his Penguin. It's why he's one of the best comic book portrayals, because he's, you know, he is the Penguin. Let's see. Sophia is incredible. I don't want to mess up her name. Kristen Milioti. She is incredible, dude. And what's so brilliant about her casting is that, you know, she reminds me a lot of like Talia Shire, you know, from of course Rocky and Godfather. She has that innocence and softness. But what's so brilliant about the casting is that you look at her big ass eyes and you're like, wait a second, maybe I shouldn't mess with her. She's innocent. She's almost pure and sweet, but then you cross her and you've just made a giant mistake. I'm like, yo, the vision is clear. Brilliant casting, brilliant. The kid Vic, I like the kid. I think it's a very cool arc to have Penguin take this kid off the streets, and he doesn't kill him. He gives him a chance to be more, because he sees a little bit of himself in him. He's like, yeah, we don't have it made like the Falcones. We have to fight for every inch that's ours. And I want to get you to that journey easier. I want us to be homies. I want us to live like, you know, like we were meant to be. We're supposed to rule. We're supposed to be better than everyone. We're going to do it together. We're in this together. It's not just his sidekick or his lackey or anything. He's like that. No, he wants to take him to the top with him because he likes him. He wants to give him a chance. I'm like, yo, this writing, dude, phenomenal. Let's see what else. I mean, there's so much to digest.
Yeah, this is a lot.
So much to digest. I mean, I spoke on the on the character of Oswald and him. I like him playing the game. I like that he's been in this game for a little bit. You know, he's familiar with it, but he wants to be more. He wants to be at the top of it. So he's gonna have to. He knows the game, but he has to play the game to get where he wants to be. And so, you know, he has to lie and tell stories to Sophia. He has to cover up after himself. He's got to be the double agent, like he said to Maroni. I'm like, yo, this character has layers. He's interesting. I want to see him get to that point. I want to see him become the Kingpin. You're almost sickly rooting for the guy. You're like, yeah, man, take what's yours. You know, he has a mother that he wants to take care of. They've made him incredibly sympathetic, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. You know, this dude's in the car listening to 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. He's this, you know, gruff, macho guy, but when he's alone, he's listening to Dolly Parton. There's something so funny about that, and there's something so smart about that. You know, the show is incredibly smart, incredibly well written. I like that he has his own operation, that, he's getting a taste of what he wants. And so now he has to, he has to fight to get there. And to speak on the ending, which is incredible. He set up Maroney with the car payback. I mean, this dude is intelligent. He has a softness to him, but he's gonna fight to get there. And it's like, it's so much to take in, but this show is so brilliant that every little moment I'm admiring. I'm listening to every word. I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked. It's world building at its finest. It's character work at its finest. And this show is shaping up to be something incredibly special, man. I'm blown away. But going in depth with your thoughts, JG, what do you have to say about character, set design, performances? What do you got on that?
Ooh, like you said, it's a lot to dive into, because it was so much that was given to us, right? And I have to watch it again because I know I missed some things. But
oh, hell yeah.
Like I said, that opening shot, man, it starts off right where the Batman left off, right? And I don't mind the Batman not being in there, because he's still kind of the world doesn't know him yet, right? He's still that kind of mystical kind of figure that's there, but kind of like the boogeyman still, right? So I don't mind him being there, right? Because he's not the Batman we know yet. Just like Oswald's not the Penguin we know yet. So I love the fact that they're building up to that. As far as, set design, costume design, it's look, I think it takes place around the 90s, maybe mid-90s, maybe. And so being in elementary school and around that time, I can relate to it, everything, right? And even like you mentioned, Dolly Parton in the car, I loved it, because as men, we all have that one or two songs that we only listen to on our own. But the ones our friend, another guy gets in there, we got to say, you got to take it out, we got to switch it. I loved it.
It's relatable.
It was a way to throw in humor and it's smoothly integrated into the story, right? Where it doesn't seem forced, and it's very relatable. And you mentioned also it's very relatable. He is. I want him to be the Penguin, right? I want him to get to that level.
Yeah.
You can almost tell that his guy's probably been picked on, bullied. Even though his mom, shout out to the lady that plays mom. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
It's like his mom and Sophia are almost identical, because when he goes to his mother's house, Mom, you take your pill. Like, she may have borderline dementia, something like that. I don't know, just the way she was talking.
It seems like that, because he was talking. I completely forgot that I love that in just casual dialogue we learn more about him. Like, Oswald had brothers, and I think he said, I used to. So something happened to the brothers. Something tells me that they're not around. He's alone, and his mother's having visions. That they're not actually there. So that's why she got to take her pills and stuff like that. So incredible. Continue.
Yeah, and even though she has that borderline dementia, she's still sharp, right? She just stops like, what did you do? Like, she knows her son. She, like every mom that loves their son, they know us. They know when we've done something, and she's so sharp. Sophia, right? Same thing with her. She came out of Arkham. She's a little crazy, and you think that when she has Oswald at first, Oswald flips it back on her, but she's still sharp the whole entire time. Right. And it's Sophia, for those that don't know, she's in the Long Halloween. And Alberto is the holiday killer. So Sophia kills Alberto, but I love how Matt Reeves kind of switched it around.
Flip the script,
Flip the script on, and it worked. It really did.
I didn't think he was gonna die. I didn't
either.
I was
thinking that it would be like a sibling rivalry to be at the top.
Right. It's exactly what I thought. That's brilliant. I was like, wait, I remember that shot for the first teaser. Yeah. Oh, is that who he kills? I'm like, yeah, crazy.
And it worked. Like, everything he does is like, you know what? If I'm in that predicament and somebody's just talking to me, going off me like that, I might shoot him too. And then
right,
it later. But you know what? I'm tired of you talking. I'm just gonna shoot you, right?
Emotions
and the way he like,
over.
Shit, I can't. And then, but he's so quick. He's so quick thinking. He's playing chess the entire time. Let's
Right.
get to the end, right, where they have him. The only thing I wish Matt Reeves would have done, have them poke out his eye. Right? So he
Okay.
wears that whatever that
Monocle.
thing is on his monocle on his eye. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I wish would have happened. But I was not expecting. I knew they were going to kill him. I thought maybe he would have came up with some lie or something again to get his way out of it. That's what he's done
Right.
through the whole episode. But he already planned for this to happen. Now I was so into the show that I forgot about that. Right? And it was just so well done. So well done.
You
Each
are
character,
immersed.
so every character played the role well. Even those with that smaller scenes, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, he goes into prison. I was thinking, okay, is he gonna talk to the Riddler? Maybe. I'm just like, no, like. But then I'm like, okay, Sal. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So I wonder, because Matt Reeves flipped a lot of stuff that happened in the Long Halloween, like Harvey Dent killing Carmine, right? So I'm curious about how it's gonna go from here. I'm here for the ride. I cannot wait for the next episode. Matt Reeves, you got me. Let's go. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, Matt Reeves, and we got to give credit to Lauren LaFranc, who is the showrunner and writer.
Yes,
this is her stuff, man. It's almost like Matt Reeves did it himself. I'm like, wow, she understands the world. She understands what makes this universe so interesting and compelling, and she's just dialing on it. I'm like, yes, you are the right person for the job. I'm floored. I'm like, this is what we're asking for. We're asking for smartly written, mature content within the superhero space. Colin's going for that Emmy. Kristen's going for that Emmy. Everyone is giving it their all, and this is going to be a contender for award season. There's no doubt about it, because it's so grounded. It's so Godfather and Goodfellas and stuff like that. It's not, it's a comic book
good
show,
comparison
but
a little bit, yeah.
The people considering the show for awards, they're not going to look at it as really a comic book show. They're going to look at it as this guy's rise to power. So it's genius. It's brilliant. I'm smiling so hard right now. I'm like, yo, this is, we're not getting an episode this Sunday. They're going to replay this episode, but I know it. We gotta wait. Which is heartbreaking. I'm like, man, the 29th is when we're gonna get the next episode.
Okay.
And these watch parties are gonna be heat, bro. I'm like, yo, Loki was a blast. This is gonna be a blast. I'm immersed, man. I'm completely immersed. I'm just trying to think of anything possibly that I missed, because there's so much.
Yeah, there's so much. I'm still thinking myself. I know it's something I had in my head when we were watching it, and I just lost it.
I know it's. I'm gonna be like laying down trying to fall asleep. I'm like, oh, this scene's great because this and that. It's gonna live rent free in my head, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I do have a theory.
Go ahead.
A lot of these characters in this Batman universe, before they take that next step, someone close to them has to die.
Okay.
The kid, Vic, I think that's his name. Something's going to happen to him.
Okay.
I think something's going to happen to him for Oswald to become the Penguin and be that Kingpin. Something, because he's too. To me, Vic is like the good parts of Oswald.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
He's the good parts, and with him around, Oswald's going to still be he's still a hard guy, but he's still going to have that softness. To get to that top level, you have to be less gritty, grimy, no softness to you at all. And I think something's going to happen either by Oswald's hands or somebody else's. But that guy's going to be gone.
That's a very good point. I like the kid so much. I don't even want to think of something like that.
I don't want him to die, but I think he is.
You say it, and you're right. There's always like a catalyst. There's always something that pushes the character over the edge. Could be his mother. His mother is showing, signs of decline. Maybe she goes and she's his heart. Once he loses her, maybe that's it. Or you're right, maybe he loses Vic and all the good parts that he sees in Vic are gone. That is a very, very good point.
Because when he's talking to his mom, you see that. I mean, look, we're grown men, right? even my mom passed, and you got your mom. That
Yeah,
we still become that little kid when we talk to our mothers, right? And you saw
absolutely.
him being that kid again. But as soon as she like, hey, basically quit being a punk, basically, right?
Yeah,
He started to harden up, right? And she pushes him to
yeah,
not
absolutely.
push back and keep going forward. Because, like she said, your dream is to be at that top. I kind of wonder, was that her dream of pushing it on him? Now he's
Mm,
thinking that has to be his dream, right? Because you look at him, he's an ugly guy, right? He has a
right,
bad
right,
foot, right? He's probably got bad breath. He probably stinks. You never know, right?
right.
You got Carmody Jogo as his love interest. What would she want with him? So it
Yeah, man.
kind of reminds me of uh, uh God, Scarface, right? When he has his
That's a
friend
good
who's a
one. Yeah.
handsome guy, and he's like the kind of ugly guy. He goes, "Hey, you first got to get the money, get the power. When you get the power, you get the women, right?" He's trying to get the money. He's organizing things now to get the money. When he gathers enough money, gets rid of people, now he has the power, right? And so,
Yeah.
man, this is gonna be a good ride. This is
Oh
gonna be a
man.
good ride, a great ride.
Yeah, I think it
We don't need no
was
Batman.
no, man. I'm good with this. Character driven and story is key to me. Um, it's just it is. I'm floored by it. I'm like, this universe is delivering just the pinnacle of what superheroes have to offer. Um, I'm floored. I cannot wait for more. I'm sitting down and just blown away by like, wow, they put everything they had into this. This is just the
Mhm.
first episode, man. We got
Yeah,
what, 8 more to go or 7 more to go. I'm not entirely sure.
the
I think it's 8 episodes. I think it's 8 episodes, but man, I I almost don't want to stop talking about it. It's so
I could talk
crazy.
about this
It's
all
like
night, dude, because I can't.
honestly,
It's so much that you can just take from this one episode. You can't say that about a lot of shows, right? The first
no.
episode's like little stuff here and there, and you're intrigued to see the next one. I need this next one. I need it.
Oh man. Yeah.
Two
I just
weeks,
love the
man.
ending so much. I love the ending so much. I mean, that ending's gonna stick with me. It's just it's a full circle moment of Oz humanizing himself to Vic in the car. He's like, you ever had these slushies, man? Something as simple as slushies that take him to a better, simpler time with his brothers, and he has it with. Maybe he sees him as his kid, maybe he sees him as a younger brother, but they're sharing that moment together. That he's passing on his good memories, and and then it ends with 9 to 5, and I'm like, yo, this is the type of show that has something to say, has something interesting to say, and it's gonna stick with you, man. It's really gonna stick with you. I I mean, wow,
Oh, I just
I'm
thought of
floored.
something.
Yeah, what you
I
got?
mentioned it when we were watching it. That monologue he was to Vic. I said it kind of reminded me a lot of what Selena was saying to Batman on that
Yeah,
ledge or whatever they were standing on.
yeah,
Um, it's a justification for why they're doing what they're doing,
yeah,
right? And you can't fault them, right? You got these guys living in these mansions, and you got wealthy people, stuff like that, living great, and you are just look at where you're living. Like look where he's living, right? You're living in the heart of Gotham, where full of prostitution, drugs, crime.
yeah.
It's
He
like
sees
you
the
gotta do what you
issues.
gotta do.
Yeah,
You're like that's what anybody would do in those situations. I have to go out there and get it in a way I can. And what he was saying was, hey, this is my justification for doing it. And he made sense out of it. Now don't fault him.
yeah. I think that's what's incredible about this character is that there is nuance. There is no black or gray. There's no, it's in the middle of or there's not no black or gray. There is a gray area with him, and I was trying to think of the saying. But yeah, there is a gray area. That's what makes this character so compelling and interesting. Is that he's a bad guy doing bad things, but you look at him and you're like, wait a second, Oswald, I kind of relate, I kind of sympathize. I'm like, yo, I low-key trying to root for you. You know, it's genius. It's genius. There's nuance, there's complexity, there's maturity, there's everything. I mean, I'm blown away. I remember what I was gonna say. We didn't get a lot of Eve Carlo. I'm interested, like you said, to see where that goes. Like, what are her motivations? Does she really love him for who he is, or does she know his ambitions and stuff like that and wants to get to the top? You know, and live it up. It's a good question. And does it lead into the Batman Part 2, potentially Clayface being a villain? There are a lot of questions there. And then I keep on saying maturity. Want to highlight the maturity. I love it. I love that it is TVMA. That's the beauty of Max, that you can make it more mature, that you can have F-bombs like every 3 seconds. I love it. I'm like, it's music to my ears. Yeah, don't hold back. You know, Oswald shoving the thing in the dude's eye. That harsh, you know, string, that line that they pulled up Oswald's arm. I'm like, damn, bro, chill. Oswald's feet. I just assumed that, you know, he had a crooked leg, crooked walk. No, this dude is constantly walking and he's in pain. And you're like, damn, wait a second. That's incredible.